other scoring from, and that could be Reagan Williams.
Yeah, you know, Samaya Nichols, Elle Evans already consistently in double figures, but Reagan Williams coming off her career high 18 points in that game against Oklahoma State. Brandon Schneider telling us that they are better when they have three consistently scoring. It's going to be tough for Reagan Williams because she'll go up against 6'7" Sedona Prince for TCU, but she works really well with Samaya Nichols on that pick and roll game, and it's going to be important for her and Samaya to have good offensive games today against this terrific TCU team.
TCU ranked number 11, 15-1 coming in. They got 2 wins over top 25 teams, including a victory over number 3 Notre Dame. So just 1 loss on the season, that coming to number 3 South Carolina. Off to the perfect 3-0 start in league play for TCU. They'll have the basketball first, wearing the purple jerseys right away inside to Prince. She'll go strong. Williams holds firm and forces a traveling violation.
They love to set up Sedona Prince on that left block and clear out the other side, and she typically just dribbles and goes to the other side of the rim. That's good position defense by Reagan Williams, who's giving up a lot of inches to play great defense there.
Off an illegal screen. I think Williams is going to get set for that. And whistling a foul on Kansas. Here's a look at Mark Campbell, the second-year head coach at TCU, 36-13 in year 2. 4th year as head coach overall, coming from Sacramento State prior. TCU, their highest ranking ever at number 9 a little bit earlier this season, and again remain just outside the top 10 at 11. Inside to Prince, who gets the first bucket.
And a nice pass inside. TCU does such a good job of spreading the court, isolating Sedona Prince inside or using her on ball screens. Really tough to defend.
Here's Samaya Nichols, second in the Big 12 in scoring, averaging 25 a game in league play. And there's a drive for Wyatt Canessa.
How about that?
The sophomore.
Challenging 6'7" Sedona Prince inside.
The drive by Connor, and Jayhawks a nice job defending towards the rim. Back the other way comes Nichols.
So Reagan Williams already picked up a moving screen, so she's going to have to be careful because she's defending Sedona Prince on this end, and she's setting a lot of screens trying to get Prince in that ball screen action.
Imagine you probably want to save it for this end of the floor, right?
Yeah, for sure.
There's a little bump, and shot from Prince, no good. Kick back out is up and missed as well by Bigby. Long rebound again. Third opportunity now for Connor.
What a smart play by Haley Van Lith just to tap it out.
And here's Prince on the right side of the rim this time.
Again, that's the mismatch that TCU has with when you have Prince at 6'7" inside. The biggest player for Kansas is Reagan Williams, listed at 6'3", but that's a generous height for her, and it's a real advantage for TCU inside. Kansas really needs to swarm the defense there. Prince
with 13 double-figure games, including a 31-16 performance earlier this year against 13th-ranked NC State.
Haley Van Lith, so much talked about her coming to TCU after transferring from LSU.
And a fadeaway jumper as Prince continues to show off all of her skill set offensively. That's on a little baseline, Jay.
She is so talented, and she can step out to three-point range, hit that mid-range, hook shot, various shots around the rim.
Nichols on the bounce, had her dribble picked up, gets the handoff back from Williams. The shot clock down near 10.
And for Kansas, the offense goes through Samaya Nichols. She will try to create or dish like she does there.
Finds Reagan Williams for the bucket. She can draw a lot of attention. It's going to be incumbent upon others to take advantage when she is passing.
That's exactly right. And that's what, when Samaya Nichols goes, she's going to draw multiple defenders because of how talented she is. And she has been doing great dishing off, finding the open players to score.
Move the ball around well. And the dribble drive up for Mpu. Agnes Emma Mpu. Mpu at 5'11" on the drive.
Yeah, that's our good friend Ron Thulin, who calls a lot of the TCU games. Emma Nopu is his favorite player, he told me. She really gets after the rebounds and creates and makes a lot of things happen.
Jayhawks saw her way back when she was at her previous stop at Stanford in the NCAA tournament. She dates back a little bit against the Jayhawks. Sanaya Copeland on the reverse drive.
Sanaya Copeland, her scoring has been down lately. She is such a great defensive player, but when they can get offense from her, that's a real bonus.
Backdoor cut by Connor. Cut off by the baseline. She'll bounce it back out. Jayhawks looking to get 2 subs in, including El Tayeb to pick up a little more height on the interior. The play has continued. El Evans comes away with it for the Jayhawks, their second leading scorer at almost 14 a game. In the bounce here. High screen now from Williams. There goes Nichols to work. Down the runway. And then falls into the cheerleaders. It's 5-on-4 back the other way now for TCU. Driving the hole. Bigby missed it. Evans has a cherry-picking Nichols. Pump fake and is fouled. So the benefit, I guess, of falling beyond the baseline is she was ready at the offensive end.
Yeah, Samaya Nichols fell and got tangled up with the yell leaders at the end of the court and took a while to get up. And then when she got up, her team had stopped TCU 5-on-4 and was able to deliver the ball up ahead.
It's funny, she was all smiles and being very polite, you know, kind of making her way back out of the fray beyond the bucket. And then Evans, I think, was probably surprised she was that far ahead of the pack. Didn't realize she hadn't gotten back. Jayhawks with a couple subs in for the first time. Nadir El Tayeb, the 6'4" senior out of Seattle.
It looks like El Evans had to
a little blood on her knee, I believe.
Get some tape taking care of things on her knee.
And Brittany Harshaw, the sophomore guard out of Andover, Kansas, a transfer from Creighton in for the first time. Nichols misses the free throw. TCU will bring in Donovan Hunter, 6-foot guard, transfer from Oregon State.
Samaya Nichols gets to the free throw line as much as anybody in the country because she is so hard to defend one-on-one.
Leads the NCAA now 126 makes. She shoots 82% from the free throw line as well. Gets Kansas back within 1. Van Lith on the drive. Off the screen. Her shot is airballed from 15. It's going to bounce out of bounds. No one else touched it. And out of bounds to Kansas. Mid-quarter timeout. Close here early. TCU 1-point lead midway through the first.
That's right. They beat North Carolina State. They beat Notre Dame, who is ranked 3rd in the country. They lost to South Carolina. I talked to Mark Campbell before the game, and he said, we learned something from each of those games. They are the highest-ranked Big 12 team right now, and they learned from that Notre Dame game. They were down by 13 in that game as Samaya Nichols hits the jumper out of the timeout, and they came back, TCU, to beat Notre Dame, and they learned about resilience and stay in the fight and play for a full 40 minutes. And when I talked to him about playing South Carolina, it was like, we learned what it's like to play against the best, the physicality, the strength, and what we need to do to be there by March.
Jayhawks have scored 5 in a row. Nichols, a little up and under move here. Van Lith, the rebound. Yet to score. They're talented. Scored 18 points a game. Down a little bit in league play. Coming off the first single-digit game of the season. Had just 7, but still a 15-point win over Cincinnati. And Prince continues to roll here early for TCU. She's got 8.
And throughout the course of her career, whether it was at Oregon previous to this or last year at TCU, she is not a real physical post player. She has a lot of finesse to her game, and that face-up shot is just money for her.
Evans off the screen. Pull-up jumper from 15 is good.
El Evans, almost 14 points a game for Kansas, coming off a 17-point game in the Jayhawks win at Oklahoma State. And what a big win that was for the Jayhawks.
Pick and roll, Prince easy to the hole. Jayhawks going to have to find a solution. Sedona Prince off to a hot start.
Yeah, there has to be some rotation. I know as a defense you're concerned about all the scores around Prince. But you have to bring some defense to help. She just slipped to the basket on that pick and roll that time.
Finesse off the screen. On the drive, Prince with the rejection. #1 in the country in block shots. Better than 3.5 a game. And gets her first there.
She has been great defensively, but offensively. Sets the screen on Canessa, slips to the basket quickly. That player on rotation defensively was not there quick enough, but Prince was certainly there quick enough to help on the drive by Canessa.
184 now total blocks in her career. Copeland down the lane, tests Prince again. This time El Tayeb tracks down the rebound, but the shot was airballed and did not reset the shot clock. So a shot clock violation sends it back the other direction.
And when we talked to Mark Campbell before the game, he said, name me another player in the country who impacts every score, every possession like Sedona Prince does. Whether she's blocking shots or just making you think about whether you should go in the paint. And then what role she plays on offense, she is involved with every possession making an impact.
Jayhawks guarding well in the perimeter right now, force another turnover. Sanaya Copeland then is fouled by Connor, who's going to pick up her second. So Madison Connor will have to have a seat. Second in the NCAA, and three-pointers made already, 64 made threes on the season for Connor, and will have to sit down.
And that would have been a real problem for TCU last year, but there's so many other scorers this year.
Elle Evans off the screen again. Couple of 15-foot jumpers.
I love how smooth that jumper goes in for Elle Evans.
Big B kicks it out to Hunter in the corner. Van Lith will go dribble through the lane. A little fadeaway shot is good.
That is a tough shot, as she got so deep into the paint. It made it a tough shot. She had to fade away, and she was able to get it up over the outstretched arm of the defender.
Van Lith's first bucket, 2,224 points in her career. Make her 150th collegiate start here this afternoon. The drive from Harshaw is good. And both teams exchanging buckets at the moment. Good offense so far.
It's a good decision by Harshaw, because Haley Van Lith stepped over, could have drawn a charge there if Harshaw would have gone in out of control.
Side to Prince. Spins this time at El Tayeb. Just a bit strong. El Tayeb rips down the rebound.
And you know where Prince is going when she is on the block. She's going to put her head down and try to make a move. The Kansas defenders have defended that well so far.
Off the screen, Nichols knocks the jumper down.
Kansas is getting a lot of shots from that Big 12 logo, using ball screens, using backdoor cuts. You don't want to go too far and challenge Prince inside, but you got to hit those 12 to 15-foot shots.
The Big 12 thanks them for their support. Here's a backdoor cut and a bucket for Taylor Bigby.
You know, and Bigby comes in and brings skill off the bench. She averages over 8 points a game. The transfer from USC, just another weapon for TCU.
TCU, the most experienced roster in the country. 8 returnees, 6 new players, 5 grad transfers. And the Jayhawks shooting it well from the perimeter at the moment.
How fun is this game so far? Let's go. A lot of made baskets. Good attack, a lot of different players getting involved.
Nichols now with 7 for Kansas, a 3-point lead. Here what could be the final possession of the quarter. Van Lith to Prince down the lane. Good catch, good finish. And trims the margin to 1. Exchanging buckets, though, over the last 5 minutes of the opening quarter. It'll be Kansas, a 1-point lead after 1. We'll be back with more Big 12 Hoops on ESPN+. TCU after the opening quarter, 19-18. Yes, we're playing Wednesday afternoon basketball today in the Big 12.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Tuesday evening, but with the snowstorm that moved through Kansas City and all across the country, they had to make some changes because TCU was going to have a hard time getting in here. And in fact, they did, as they flew their charter plane. They had a tough time finding an airport that they could land at yesterday. And Kansas, after beating Oklahoma State on Saturday, that's when all the ice moved into Kansas City. They couldn't get back Saturday, Sunday, or until late Monday to get back here. So they spent 4 days in Stillwater. I said it was probably a good thing that you won that game. That would have been a little tougher if they would have lost.
Long road trip if you don't have a W on it. They finally got back here to Lawrence after a bit of a delay. And both teams enjoying some afternoon buckets, and there's some offense going early as Sedona Prince is off to a flying start. 14 points, 14 of the 20 for TCU.
Yeah, she's 7 of 9. Nobody else has more than 2 points for TCU right now.
Also now 7 of 9 from the field. My goodness. Van Lith comes away with the TCU.
You know, and it's a combination of things, right? That's the advantage, the size advantage that TCU has with Prince. But also, I think Kansas is defending the guards well, and they're not bringing a lot of help on Sedona Prince. So she's open for the shots, and she's hitting those open jumpers.
Van Lith off the screen. Kicks it outside. Emma Nopu knocks down the 3.
And Emma Nopu with the shot there. Now somebody has more than 2 points that isn't named Sedona Prince, as she is a 42% three-point shooter on the year. Terrific rebounder as well.
7 straight points now for TCU to lead it by 4. Bodies flying, no whistle. All be out of bounds to Kansas.
Sedona Prince has been a force all year long, but this game especially, as she has found ways to get around inside on the block. She's got that fadeaway. She has a face-up shot off the screen. Just a terrific job scoring in a number of different ways for Sedona Prince.
Nichols trying to weave her way through traffic, fouled by Bigby. First foul on Bigby. Again, 2 fouls on Madison Connor, who remains on the TCU bench. They're very talented outside scoring threat, averaging 17 a game, but almost 21 in league play. The 2 early fouls has her on the bench at the moment.
And she hasn't scored any points yet. So
just 1 shot.
And when you're trying to defend Samaya Nichols, she creates a lot of fouls. And that is one situation there as she drops that one down. The foul wasn't called, but Taylor Bigby was all over her. Because she's so strong and active and skilled, it's almost impossible to stop her without fouling.
So powerful as well, shaking off contact as she did there. Nichols with 9. Bigby on the drive. Tried to squeeze through 2 Jayhawk defenders. And that could be foul number 2 on Reagan Williams. That's who they didn't want to have pick up the extra foul, as Williams will have a seat.
There was a trap on one side, and Haley Van Lith able to cross court. That leaves the defense scrambling for Kansas. They try to come over and help on the drive by Bigby, excuse me, and just commit that foul. That's where you want to just wall up and make the shot tough and not bail out somebody that's driving to the basket so hard by committing a foul. Make them pull up and shoot after they have driven so hard, and instead Kansas bails out Bigby in that situation.
Bigby misses a pair at the line, though. Williams will sit down with her 2 fouls. El Tayeb back in now. El Tayeb, though, not the offensive potential that Reagan Williams has, but does handle a little more size on Prince, as Elle Evans is fouled.
Emma Nopu was really playing very physical defense against Elle Evans that time, and bodied up and displaced Evans with the basketball in her hands.
First foul on Emma Nopu. Inbound out of Kansas. Evans trying to work through another screen. Nichols had the shot. I don't think she thought Bigby was going to be falling down. Turned down the 3, instead goes to the drive. Head and shoulder fake. Tries to slip it past Prince. And Sedona Prince comes away with the rebound.
Tried to be crafty, getting it past 6-7, just wasn't able to finish.
So Connor back in. Now for TCU. Just handled the basketball a moment ago with her 2 fouls. Van Lith being hounded by Canessa. 3 is up and down, shook free of the defender, knocks down the 3. Haley Van Lith.
Excellent footwork to separate herself from the defense to have that good look.
Van Lith with 5 points, already 5 assists as well. You get it inside to Prince, that's usually pretty good things, right? She knows how to work an assist. Nichols, another tough drive. TCU comes away with it. They're cooking the other way. Here's Bigby. Long shot.
And it was Van Lith who came in and disrupted that opportunity for the Jayhawks to get a rebound that gave TCU that extra chance.
Van Lith feeling it now, knocks down the wing three.
Yeah, she's decided to take over. And anytime, I mean, Haley Van Lith has done this throughout her career, whether at Louisville or LSU or whatever, but she asserts herself and makes things happen. And that time she made things happen by just getting a hand on the offensive rebound and then spotted up for the three.
Evans on the drive, tried to force the contact. Does get the whistle. I believe it's going to be Emino Poo on the foul, not Sedona Prince.
Haley Van Lith is being face guarded by Canessa and still separates and got the three. And then the extra pass by TCU. They're one of the best passing teams in the country. And you saw Kansas was there flying at her, but Haley Van Lith is such a confident shooter, and she is in her mode right now, in her bag, as they say, and knocks down another three.
And you're not lying when you said she's decided to take over. That's what it just looked like.
Yeah.
Last 2 times down the floor, she says, just give me the ball. I'm going to get it done. Evans knocks down the free throw. So Emino Poo picked up the foul. That's her second. So 2 starters with 2 fouls now for TCU in this opening half. Emino Poo and Connor. Prince. And the offensive story thus far for TCU till Van Lith's breakout a moment ago. Prince with 14. Van Lith, though, going to work. Does bounce it inside. Canessa steals it away for Kansas. Looking to push, but it's 2 on 4. Evans a trailer for 3.
Boy, she was straight on with us. I thought that was in. That was a pretty shot, but she was quite a bit behind the three-point line.
Another trailer 3 this time for Connor is missed.
Samaya Nichols not on the court right now for Kansas, so they're going to do a lot of screening, movement, try to help and create opportunities for each other. Just watch the motion out around El Tayeb.
Canessa, long way to run, draws the foul on Bigby on the drive. That's going to be 2 on Bigby as well. So 3 starters from prior to the Jayhawks was a matchup at UCF, so they haven't played away from home, but that'll change here soon.
Well, and they've got to fly home, and there is a big storm coming through Dallas-Fort Worth tomorrow, and then they've got to get out to Lubbock for the Texas Tech game, their next game. So, you know, it's that time of year. But as you and I live in the Kansas City area, this is the biggest snowstorm that Kansas City has had in a lot of years. And the storm that's about to come through Dallas is likely to be the biggest snowstorm that Dallas has had in a lot of years as well. So, you know, navigating all of that while trying to win basketball games sometimes can be a challenge.
Or for Kansas, you're drawing up game plans in a Stillwater hotel for their next matchup with TCU, right?
Yeah, they basically
using a ballroom and doing what you have to do, right?
They got to practice about a half hour on Monday in Stillwater because they didn't know if they were going to come back or not, and then they had a walkthrough today. That's all the practice they've had since the Oklahoma State game.
Sedona Prince hits another shot, 16 points now, 8 of 10 for the field, and 5 rebounds here for TCU. You mentioned, though, at one point, she was the only offense, but suddenly that has changed for the Home Frogs.
Yeah, Haley Van Lith has asserted herself. She's got 8, but right out of the timeout, they go back to Prince. Just a reminder to everybody on the court, she's got the size advantage. She has the skill advantage on the post. Get her as many touches as you can for the TCU offense.
The Jayhawks have been going bucket for a while as well, but have cooled off. They missed their last 4, and no field goals over the last 4+ minutes. Nichols tries to change that on the 15-footer. This one's off the iron. Rebound to Prince.
And a good screen by El Tayeb there. It gave Samaya Nichols the room, just a little flat on her shot.
TCU no slouch defensively as well. They've 11th in the country in defensive scoring, held 13 of their 15 opponents below their average. And Jayhawks got off to the fast start, but have since cooled. They get it inside to Prince and draws the foul on El Tayeb.
I watched a lot of game film on TCU this year, and that's what TCU does a lot. They will put Prince on that left block. They will have nobody over on the other side, and she'll just put her head down and 1 or 2 dribbles to go to the offside. And you saw she missed that time originally, but stayed with it to get the offensive rebound and put back. But the reason it's so effective is because they'll put shooters out around her, and if you bring the help defense when she goes across the paint, all she has to do is kick out to a three-point shooter. So do you stay one-on-one and try to defend the mismatch inside, or do you cover up the three-point shooters on the perimeter? It's a tough choice.
Nichols draws a quick double team, kicks it out now. Harshaw, tough three here, and rattles it in.
Good to see Harshaw, as she missed that stretch of 7 games early in the year and hasn't quite gotten her scoring going since then, but she's hit a couple confidently today.
Scoreless in the matchup at Oklahoma State. Hasn't hit double figures since the second game of the season. You mentioned missed a stretch. That's Prince from just about the three-point arc, a 2, but Prince from deep.
She is feeling it today. What a smooth jumper. She is 6'7". She's 6'7" and can score from anywhere on the court.
TCU was down 1 to start this quarter. Now lead it by 6. Nichols in the lane, looking for help. Gets it back. Stolen away. Van Liv picked the pocket. Here comes Connor. Turned over in the middle of the lane. Kansas back the other way. 3-on-3. Copeland stops in the lane. Harshaw back for 3 hits.
What a great pass from Copeland. Used her speed to get the steal, to drive the length of the court, then was all covered up defensively, didn't force it, and found the three-point shooter.
Harshaw with back-to-back Kansas buckets. TCU going back inside the Prince and draws the foul on El Tayeb.
On the other end, the drive after the steal. Copeland, such a good defensive player, pushes it down the court, but Connor there with good defense. And the pass from Copeland out to Harshaw for the three-point shot. Didn't force it. Great decision.
Second foul on El Tayeb. Does have 5 rebounds. Foul is probably the most important thing. Reagan Williams already on the bench with 2. El Tayeb now with 2. Denai Papadopoulou in for the first time, the senior from Greece.
Well, Sedona Prince has already drawn 2 fouls on Reagan Williams. Now she's gotten El Tayeb into foul trouble, so that means Papadopoulou is next up to try to defend Sedona Prince.
Prince hits a pair. Those are the first 2 makes at the free throw line for TCU. Missed their first 4 at the line. Their only real blemish of this first half. Whistle and a foul out front. It's going to be a bump on Hunter. First on Hunter. That'll send Samaya Nichols to the free throw line. Number 1 in the country in free throws made and attempted. 126 for 154.
And it's because so much of the offense goes through Samaya Nichols for Kansas. She is the playmaker. She has the ball in her hands most of the time. You have to try to bring help and body up, because if she can, she will get all the way to the rim or for a pull-up jumper. If you bring help, she'll find other players. So defenses try to get really physical with her to try to not make it so easy for her to get into the paint.
She has more than half of the free throw attempts for the entire Jayhawk team this season, and a good free throw shooter as well at 82%. Gets Kansas back within 3. Van Liv. Drive and kick. Hunter will have an open look at 3. Good ball rotation and splashing home for Hunter.
It's a great shot from Hunter, but I was surprised Haley Van Lith didn't just go all the way into the basket. She has the mismatch with Papadopoulou, but instead, good sharing of the basketball for TCU to result in a 3.
Hunter, the Oregon State transfer. She's all freshman team last year at Oregon State. Goes off the screen, tries to hand off the leg of Papadopoulou. Now tied up, possession arrow will point to TCU.
It's a ball screen by Papadopoulou. TCU used that opportunity to trap Nichols. Nichols tried to feed it through, but just wasn't able to deliver the ball to Papadopoulou in a place where she could catch it and score.
About an 8-second difference. Game clock to shot clock here. Van Liv on the bounce. Now to Prince. 17-footer, strong. Rebound to Copeland.
Rare miss for Prince in this game.
9 for 13 from the field. She's got 20 first half points and 8 rebounds. Nichols will hold for the final shot here. Couple screens in a roll. Harshaw has been hot for Kansas. Misses the three here. Rebound tracked down by Van Lith. Her shot to beat the buzzer is well short.
Yeah.
And we had
Papadopoulou and Prince, I think, hit heads. Yeah.
And both holding the top of their heads as they head to the respective locker rooms. Just thinking.
Yeah, no defense.
Right. The other side of things.
We got to improve our defense.
Spent their time that way as well. Kansas will have the basketball first to start the second half. Elle Evans will bring it back into play for Kansas. And Samaya Nichols will handle the point guard duties per usual. Taylor Bigby defending. Bigby, one of the 3 Horned Frogs with 2 first-half fouls. Williams couldn't find the pass and instead hits the jumper.
That is not typically how you want to shoot a shot after standing and looking and okay, I'm just going to shoot. But it was effective.
Was looking to get it back to Nichols. She was guarded, so took the shot herself, and Reagan Williams knocks down the bucket. She's got 4. Open look for Connor.
Yeah.
And that's her first make.
And Sanaya Copeland got tangled up and was on the floor in the paint. And that's exactly who she was supposed to be defending. And TCU found Madison Connor.
I'm going to draw back the curtain for a second, Brenda. At halftime, you said you should probably look up the last time Connor hasn't scored. You couldn't get the sentence out. You said, never mind. It's not going to come into play.
Yeah,
She hits the
She's
3.
Gonna score.
She hits the 3 in under a minute and gets herself on the board after some foul trouble in the first half. Blocked by Prince on the baseline against Williams. Her second block. Quickly at court, Van Lith. Back out to Connor. Connor, 165 now threes over the last 2 years. That's second in the country, and she's now got 65 to make a moment ago.
You're seeing the top-ranked team in the Big 12 right now. Kansas State is right there with them. West Virginia having a terrific year as well. Can't wait for some of those matchups down the road. But TCU showing why they are one of the best teams in the country. The only loss they have this year is to defending national champion South Carolina. And they are just a smooth, efficient, offensive machine.
Bigby had the bucket a moment ago to pick up points 3 and 4. 3 fouls now on Emma Nopu as she picks up her 3rd, trying to defend on Evans. Rolls off a screen here. Evans in front of the Jayhawk bench, knocks down the 3.
She has such a high release. Love to see how she has those beautiful mid-range jumpers. She releases high over the defender from the 3-point range. Really pretty to watch.
31st made 3 of the season, first on the afternoon. Connor trying to make up for lost time. Got a couple of bounces off the rim and couldn't get it to drop.
And did you see how the Kansas defense came to Sedona Prince right as she caught the ball? And then the 2 guards retreated to the players out on the perimeter. It was interesting to see how they yo-yoed in on Prince.
Evans, the leaner, missed. TCU the rebound. Nopu for 3 this time. Good box out by Reagan Williams on the interior for Kansas. Battling Prince. Here comes Nichols. Running off the screen. Williams gets it back.
Ooh.
And then Prince retreats for the block.
Beautiful recovery because Williams had the sprint to get out in front, and Prince just used her length and quickness, good footwork, to get there to block it.
3rd block for Prince. Connor mid-range this time from the elbow, missed it.
Your players spilling all over on the floor lately.
Each team operating offensively in front of their respective benches here in the second half. So Coach Brandon barking out the plays to his squad. Bigby bumps Nichols, and that's going to be the 3rd foul on Bigby.
So Kansas had a really nice pick and roll situation here where Williams looks like she is going to lay it up, but instead Sedona Prince recovers and blocks that shot. With the length of 6'7", Sedona Prince, you got to go get that shot up really quickly because she is going to make up a lot of ground in a hurry.
Williams tries to take it right at Prince this time. A little too strong off the backboard. Prince, though, knocked it out. Kansas will have it back.
Reagan Williams tried to get creative. It's tough over a shot blocker because she kind of shot it up quick in the middle of a move instead of finishing her move because Prince is so good at finding the beat on the shot.
Evans off the inbound for three. Second made three of the second half for Elle Evans, and Kansas back within three.
And Sanaya Copeland was open on that inbounds play. I thought Nichols kind of looked like, oh, I should have passed it to her. Instead, Elle Evans, again, in rhythm, that high release, beautiful three-point shot.
Van Lith trying to go dribble, loses Copeland for a second. Here's Prince, 17-footer pure.
Just a beautiful shot. Just taking her time, knows that nobody is going to get up there and bother, and uses her time to get the nice follow through in the shot.
First bucket of the second half for Prince, who had 20 at halftime.
That one got away from Samaya Nichols as she and Canessa were kind of in the same space. They brought both defenders together, and it got away from Nichols.
Off the high screen. Connor takes the shot, bounces inside to Prince. Evans was there trying to tie it up. Can be whistled for the foul.
Good defense by Kansas, running Connor off the three-point line. Made her put it on the floor. She is typically so deadly, even off the dribble on that mid-range jumper. But the Kansas defense scrambling and really making TCU make the extra pass right now.
Prince, a rare break. Aaliyah Roberson checks in for the first time. On the interior. Roberson gets it off the pick and roll this time. Sliding over is Evans, who gets now back-to-back fouls. And she thought she had a good piece of leather. And got the bump down low.
Maybe a little bit as she followed through with her hand. But the call there. But Aaliyah Roberson is a terrific story in that her older sister, I called her games at Texas Tech several years ago, Ashley Roberson. Ariel, another sister, played at Colorado. Her older brother, Andre, played at Colorado and then played in the NBA for 8 years. And her younger sister, Ariana, is a freshman at Duke. So Roberson coming off the bench and making something happen for TCU.
The home pickup game is probably a blast.
Oh, my gosh. There's so much talent in that family.
Reagan Williams draws the foul. Bigby back in, replacing Connor. Bigby checks back in with 3 fouls so far. Mark Campbell, head coach TCU, not shying away from anyone with kind of the foul troubles. He didn't bench anybody permanently with 2 in the first half. Draws the foul inside, does Evans on Nopu.
Really good inbounds play. Great pass by Nichols. Elle Evans had an opportunity there. Her length is so tough, and it picks up the 4th foul on Emma Nopu.
So Evans is heated up here in the second half, now leading Kansas with 12.
You know, the transfer, Elle Evans from North Dakota State, was all Summit League first team, one of the best three-point shooters in the country. Last year, a great scoring addition after Kansas lost all those super seniors from last year's team.
And let's step back. Evans might have got a touch on it. Rebound and a block shot for Copeland. Here's Evans on the run out the other way and draws the foul on Van Lith. So Elle Evans has picked it up. 5 points in the first half. She's got 8 here in the third quarter, and we'll head to the line when we come back.
We are figuring it out, what makes our team good. So let's continue to play the way we need to. And he stepped over the side, and I asked him about that. He said, over the last 10 days, we're really starting to figure out who we are as a team. and what allows us to play well. And you have Samaya Nichols that can create off the dribble and make things happen with the ball in her hands, but you've got a lot of other players that it's important for there to be screening and dribble penetration and kick and just moving the basketball to set up players, create opportunities for players, and then on this end to be connected defensively. And you're really seeing this. I mean, this is the 11th ranked team in the country, TCU, and Kansas is playing extremely well against them.
Going toe-to-toe defensively there. Copeland nearly had the steal. Prince muscles her way through it and gets the third foul on Reagan Williams.
And it was really great patience by Sedona Prince as she goes one way, ducks up and under, uses the backboard, gets around the defender, just shows great patience in the paint.
Prince knocks down the free throw as well, so gets the and one. 25 for Sedona Prince. There's a rebound shy of a double-double as well. So Jayhawks will substitute out Reagan Williams, bring in Nadir El-Tayeb, who picked up 2 fouls in the first half. She'll get the next opportunity at Prince. Drive by Nichols, draws the foul on Prince. He's there to help her up. And Samaya Nichols will be back to the free throw line, or home away from home.
So, exactly. In the first half, we saw Samaya Nichols go around those screens and then pull up just short of Sedona Prince so that her shot blocking ability would not be a factor. That time, Samaya Nichols just challenged Sedona Prince, went all the way in, and was able to draw a foul.
Nichols' first points in the second half. Now has 12. Nichols has a streak of 4 straight 20-plus point performances, 10 all told on the season, with 22 last year, the only matchup with TCU. Jayhawks won down in Fort Worth, a 7-point victory a season ago. Push out front on Copeland.
That's unfortunate for Copeland because she had perfect footwork to get over that screen, and then she put both hands out and touched Haley Van Lith with both hands. If she just would have been in place and not reached her hands out, she wouldn't have got called for the foul because she had absolutely perfect footwork getting over the screen.
Van Lith now draws L. Evans. Connor slips out. Had a look at 3 if she wanted. Instead, dishes inside to Prince. Amongst 3 Jayhawk defenders, missed the first, but draws the foul on the second. Copeland will pick it up. Back-to-back fouls for Sanaya Copeland.
And because of the great passing for the TCU offense, they had Kansas defense scrambling. There were players helping the helper and running into place, and TCU just continued to make the extra pass to get the ball inside to Prince, where they continue to have the advantage.
Prince gets the friendly roll. 26 points, picked up her 10th rebound a moment ago, so another double-double, her 7th of the season. More importantly, puts TCU back up 6. Nichols picks up her dribble, looking for help. Evans. 10 of her 15 have come here in the third quarter. Drives, this time missed it. Rebound tipped up by Prince, and Connor swoops in, bring it back up court. Connor's pass is deflected and stolen away. Evans up court, Knessa ahead of the pack, flips it up and in.
Wow, that was not an easy catch and finish because Knessa had already started breaking toward the rim, and she had to catch it facing the ball and completely turn around without dribbling, not traveling, and scoring the basketball.
She might have got a hand on that tip pass as well. Van Lith through traffic and good.
Van Lith is thriving in this system for TCU. So many pick and rolls between she and Sedona Prince, but also just as a point guard, setting things up and making sure that she's making things happen. That time she goes all the way to the rim.
10 points, 6 assists, 4 boards for Van Lith. Nichols off the high screen, changes gears, tries to dish it off. El-Tayeb off the hand and into Connor. Connor got away the high dribble there down the court. Gets it though in the corner to Hunter. They'll reset out front. Prince. Leave her alone. She'll shoot it. Does from 18. Robertson tracked down the rebound. Good second chance effort there for TCU. Back inside to Prince. And whistled for the foul on the bump will be El Tayeb. That'll be her third.
So difficult to defend Prince, and that time El Tayeb and Nichols were both on her, trying not to allow the pass to go inside, but just too much to handle.
Prince misses the first. Sonora Prince in her second season at TCU. Of course, played at Oregon. Over now 1150, approaching 1,200 points for her career, and leads the country in block shots. Been effective on the defensive end today as well, in addition to her double-double, points and rebounds. Evans trying to step through. Good defense by Robertson. El Tayeb gets it back. Little fadeaway shot is good on the putback for Nadira El Tayeb.
That's hard work by El Tayeb to be there in position to go get the offensive rebound and then take a tough shot over Prince.
Not much on the offensive end for El Tayeb. Her position requires defense and rebounding, but an occasional bucket can't hurt. Connor, second chance, buries the three.
Can't leave her open. Kansas had done a nice job scrambling to get a hand up on Connor the last possession. They forced the shot from Robertson instead of Connor, but then TCU got the offensive rebound and an extra opportunity.
Nichols trying to post up this time on Bigby and can't find her. Shot clock down to 7. Finally get in the hands of Nichols with 4. Gonna have to hurry here. And Bigby whistled for the foul. Shooting 3 will be Samaya Nichols. Bigby will pick up foul number 4 as well in the process.
Samaya Nichols knew exactly how much time was on the shot clock. She looked up at the clock, steps around, knew that she was being defended well, but decided to go up with a three-point shot, and that's just a poor decision by Bigby. Never want to foul the jump shooter, number one, and especially when they're attempting a three-point shot. It's because she got caught around that screen a little bit, didn't have great defensive position, gets caught reaching in there for the foul.
And then you spend extra time standing next to your head coach.
That's what happens when you make that kind of foul.
Gonna leave her in with 4. Thought they were going to substitute there, but Hunter will check out instead. Nichols for 3 at the free throw line, misses the first.
He missed a couple today, very unusual.
Kind of a hard-earned 13 points so far for Nichols, who's really had to kind of fight around screens, and TCU's tried to stay as physical as possible with her and make her earn it.
All right, here we go. 1, 1.
And leads the country in free throw makes and attempts. Now 7 of 9 at the line and 15 points on the afternoon for Samaya Nichols. We'll get a quick breather here at the end of the third. Kansas down 6. Shot clock, game clock difference, about 5 seconds. Van Lith will bounce out front for TCU, right in front of her head coach, Mark Campbell. Now we'll go with 7, defended by Copeland. Van Lith on the drive. Copeland in pretty good position and draws the charge.
Sanaya Copeland sold that. Haley Van Lith was putting on a dribble performance out front, and Sanaya Copeland jumps into position. Was she in legal guarding position? It's pretty close. You can be moving and draw a charge. You have to be in legal guarding position, and that was close.
So Kansas trying to beat the clock. Vanessa with 3 with 2, and they didn't really get a shot design there without Nichols on the floor. And Coach Brandon with a smile as he heads back to the huddle. They couldn't get a final look, but 6 points was the margin at halftime. It remains 6 entering the fourth quarter. TCU leading Kansas 58-52. Back with the fourth on ESPN+. TCU led by 6 at halftime. Lead by 6 now entering the fourth. Here's a look at the upcoming schedule for the Jayhawks. They travel to Colorado on Saturday, and then back-to-back home games with Arizona State and Arizona ahead.
Welcome back to the Big 12, Colorado. Can someone please send me to Colorado? Boulder is one of my favorite college cities to go to. So, you know, if anybody wants to assign me a game out of Colorado, I'm up for it.
You do run the risk of weather there as well. Van Lith on the drive.
You know, but in Colorado, you might get a snow, but then the sun's shining, and they're so close to the sun that it goes away pretty quickly.
Yeah, they do sweat it off pretty fast, too. Kind of a little more used to it than maybe anyone tuning in today from Lawrence and Fort Worth. Evans on the drive and is fouled. So L. Evans, who's come alive here in the second half, had just 5 points at halftime, but 10 points here in the second half for Kansas, and draws the 5th foul on Eminoku, who will have to check out now, fouling out just inside the fourth quarter.
And, you know, from that, Eminoku had her arms straight up, was in pretty good position, but in live action, you could tell that she got a little body into Evans as she was going up for the shot.
Evans missed them both. The Jayhawks
missed opportunity.
14 of 19 at the free throw line. 8 for 13 for TCU from the stripe after starting out 0 for 4. Connor on the drive. Got the shoulders through, but kicks it off instead. Bigby for 3, no good. Prince, the offensive board, no good. And Evans comes away with it for Kansas.
Man, Elle Evans has some long arms. It looked like she was reaching up as high as Sedona Prince that time.
Vanessa on the drive. Flips it up off the backboard. El Tayeb there for the stick back.
El Tayeb with some good minutes inside.
Got a couple buckets here in the second half. That one off the offensive rebound. She's got 7 boards as well. Connor for 3.
You could tell Connor knew that was off when it left her hand by her body language.
Second chance again. This time it's Taylor Bigby.
Bigby has that ability, as well as Eminoku, who is out with the fouls, but putting the ball on the floor and attacking.
He's done a nice job with second opportunities here this afternoon. Jayhawks getting an extended breather now for Samaya Nichols, who checked back in at the next dead ball, but she checked out about 30 seconds ago in the third, and they give her extra break to start the fourth. Canessa working the baseline.
First of all, that was a really tough pass. El Tayeb just kind of threw it out in front for Canessa to go get, and then Canessa made a tough shot as Prince came over.
Canessa with 8. Connor. Now to Bigby. Bigby on the drive. Through the lane. And gets it to drop. And the foul.
2 plays in a row. Taylor Bigby putting the ball on the floor to attack. This time, El Tayeb tries to get over and just bumps her with her hip. And Taylor Bigby able to finish the shot. You know, with TCU, you know the scoring for Madison Connor, Haley Van Lith, Sedona Prince. They are the big 3, but it's so much how Bigby comes in off the bench. You've got Donovan Hunter that contributes in her own way. They're kind of the glue pieces around those 3 stars, and they make such important plays for this team.
Bigby now with 9. And the lead now. Nichols and Williams back in the Kansas lineup. Nichols with 15. She and Elle Evans each with 15 to lead the Jayhawks. Evans with 10 here in the second half. Nichols changing gears, goes right at Bigby, who has 4 fouls, but stayed there defensively. Prince comes over to help.
Yeah, Bigby made that a tough shot for Nichols.
Hunter now running the point guard duties with Van Lith working at the 2.
Samaya Nichols is actually defending Prince, but they're switching. That's how she got on her.
Rubbed off the screen to Van Lith and draws the and one. Canessa sliding over late, but off the screen, Van Lith with the and one.
And Van Lith let out a yell after this one. Sedona Prince noticing that the help defense came, delivered a beautiful pass, and Van Lith absorbs the contact and scores the basket.
Haley Van Lith, who's on all the watch lists around the country. Now with 15 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. And Kansas will call timeout. TCU sprinting out its largest lead, now at 12.
State, TCU, Utah, West Virginia, all ranked in the top 22 in the country. Utah making their first appearance in the top 25 after beating Iowa State this last weekend. Oklahoma State already has some really good wins over Iowa State and Baylor. That's what made that Kansas win in Stillwater such a big win for them.
Jayhawks with the basketball out of the timeout. Canessa on the drive. Flips it up and in. Lost control. She was looking for a foul. Didn't get it, but gets the bucket to drop. Canessa with 10.
And not an easy shot at all.
So she becomes the third double-figure scorer for Kansas on the afternoon. Sedona Prince, 28 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks. Dished it off that time for Van Lith, who missed the 3. Here comes Copeland on the run. Gets it back now from Canessa. Drives baseline. Traffic. Here's Evans, corner 3. And Prince with another rebound.
And that's where if Sanaya Copeland and Canessa can drive in, if the defense sags, they can hit some of those three-point shooters on the perimeter for Kansas.
Van Lith the drive, tried to bounce it to Prince, stolen away, 2-on-1. Evans fills the break from Canessa for the bucket.
And that just barely got through there as Madison Connor was coming hard defensively, but that ball had eyes a little bit, and Elle Evans with a great finish.
4 straight points down for Kansas, back within 8. Van Lith picks up a dribble.
And that was good defense against that pick and roll because a help defender came over on Prince, didn't allow an easy pass off the pick and roll.
Prince the miss. Nichols will bounce it up court, now gets the play from Coach Brandon. Hands it off now to Evans, who lost the handle. Trying to look for help now with the shot clock already down to 9. Nichols on the drive. Draws 2 defenders, steps through. Off the window, too strong. Rebound to Bigby. TCU being a little more patient now at the offensive end, Brenda. Clock on their side, obviously.
Yeah, and they're right in front of Mark Campbell, who is shouting out the play call every time.
Connor. Hunter for 3. Evans the rebound for Kansas.
And there's a good example of Williams blocking out Sedona Prince, and it took a guard to come in and get the ball so that TCU didn't get another offensive rebound.
Canessa on the drive and draws the foul on Connor. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. 3:37 to play in the 4th. Jayhawks using the fast break to stay in distance. TCU by 8. Jayhawks getting good scoring in the second half from Elle Evans.
She has used the screens well. She elevates. She used those long arms for a high release. Beautiful three-point shot. She has been available. They're playing a little bit of defense and pushing ahead in transition. The transfer doing good things for Kansas, transferring from North Dakota State. Just like her game and what she adds to the Kansas offense and defense.
12 of her 17 coming here in the second half. Wyatt Canessa at the free throw line. After the timeout, she drew the foul just before the break on Connor. Canessa hits a couple free throws. Like, Canessa's had a good ball game as well. She's got 12.
You know, and she's played well on both ends of the court. As Kansas is switching up, she's had to defend Connor on the perimeter as well as Haley Van Lith. And, you know, the whole Kansas team very connected defensively today.
Drive for Van Lith and draws contact on the interior and a couple free throws.
But if you're TCU, you continue to attack. You spread the floor. You find the driving lanes, screening, moving hard. And Van Lith is that aggressive player, has been throughout her career, that can just be a huge playmaker.
And get your 82% free throw shooter to the line. Doesn't hurt as well. She knocks down the first. Van Lith with 16. 6 assists, 4 boards.
You know, she scored over 2,000 points in her career coming in, and just being that point guard and playmaker, she has just expanded her game from having this opportunity to play for TCU.
Evans on the handoff from Williams. On the drive here against Hunter. Up and good.
Tough shot.
Elle Evans now with 19.
You know, and she is slight of frame, thin, but she is strong, and she showed it there, powering up over her defender.
Van Lith picks up her dribble. Now kicks in the corner to Bigby. Back to Prince. Now to Hunter. Hunter on the drive and kick. Gets in the corner. Bigby for 3 and hits. Beat the shot clock. 1.5 seconds to go in the shot clock. They get Bigby a look at 3.
And it was a great defensive possession for Kansas. They were stunting. They were switching. They were doing all the right things. But just shows the patience of TCU and their great passing.
Nichols the drive. Got underneath Prince that time. And gets the bucket back. TCU will walk the ball up the floor, though. Again, the Jayhawks defended the entire clock well the last trip down the floor. And still got beat by the 3. Connor to Prince down the middle of the lane, but missed it.
A rare miss for Prince today, because she couldn't have been more open on that slip to the rim.
She wasn't sure what it was like to be that open. Van Lith jumps the passing lane. Knocks it away from Kansas. Copeland has to go in the backcourt to retrieve.
Kansas needs to hurry. Have a sense of urgency here on offense.
Nichols downhill. Drives right at Bigby, who takes a shot to the forehead. The basket is good for Nichols. No whistle. But a bucket for Nichols, who now has 19.
Yeah, the whistle blown just to make sure Bigby okay. Down on the other end, TCU, Connor slipping the ball to Sedona Prince. Just got herself too far into the basket as she came down over the face of Bigby. Not intentional, but just as she was coming down from her shot. But Bigby will be attended to away from the court.
So Robertson will check in. TCU by 5, approaching the 1-minute mark. Kansas trying to D up here rather than send TCU the free throw line at the moment.
Yeah, big possession for both teams.
Connor the drive through the lane. Got it to Prince and 1.
And again,
big drive for Connor.
Yeah, big drive and pass for Connor. She had delivered that beautiful pass to Prince last time. But watch as she just dumps it down to Prince. This time Prince takes her time, makes sure she's in good position. And Copeland commits the foul trying to stop her. And, you know, you think about Madison Connor last year for TCU, primarily a shooter, and a terrific shooter at that, but has really developed the playmaking aspect of her game this year and has so many talented players around her, and working with Prince yet another year, the chemistry between them really impressive.
Kansas gets the rebound, calls timeout to advance the ball, stop the clock. You mentioned Connor, even today, Brent, is a perfect example of that. Had 2 fouls in the first half, only took 2 shots, and was scoreless at halftime. Yet here we see her, she's not hunting for points in the second half. Did knock down a couple of threes, but 3 assists, couple rebounds, just chipping in her part. Even though it's not necessarily her scoring day, she's doing other things to make sure she stays involved.
Showing how unselfish she is. She's coming off a game where against Cincinnati, she had 29 points. She averages almost 17 points a game, and she's not forcing it. She knows that she is being defended well today, and she's done a great job of delivering the ball to her teammates today, and making that extra pass and doing what the team needs to be successful.
Nichols is immediately fouled by Van Lith. Fouls to give, 3rd on Van Lith. So that just foul number 3 on TCU.
And that's a sign of a smart, mature team. And, both these coaches, Brandon Schneider, Mark Campbell, very much tacticians. TCU knows they have fouls to give here.
Shakes free of Hunter, does Nichols, who buries the 3.
How about that? What a shot for Nichols.
And the foul in the backcourt as Knessa fouls Connor. But how about Sabaya Nichols? Look like they're going to try to come out and maybe foul her again.
And because Samaya Nichols is so good at driving to the basket, you saw the defender going to the basket. And you're right, I thought they were going to try to foul again with the fouls to give, but you have to worry about Samaya Nichols and her ability to drive to the basket. That time she showed, yes, I can hit the 3 as well.
Nichols with 22, matching her mark against TCU last year. Now 5 straight 20-plus point games for Nichols this season. Connor missed the first, makes the second. And Kansas will call another timeout.
Rare miss for Madison Connor, as she's an 83% free throw shooter, 84% last year.
That was their goal as well, not to give up the 3-point shot. And Nichols able to shake free, get one a moment ago. She gets the ball here inside the arc. Hunter defending, spins through traffic. And Prince was there, Hunter was there. It will be Hunter on the foul on Nichols.
And the original play was a flare screen, a back screen for Elle Evans. So that's where Samaya Nichols looked first. It wasn't there. You saw her ball fake. Instead, then she goes to the basket just to create something and get a chance to go to the free throw line.
It's the first. So clock stopped with 30.7. And makes the free throw to make it a 3-point ball game with 30.7 to go. Nichols now with 24. And it's getting interesting here under a minute.
Kansas.
But that's the last time they have led in this ball game. And TCU the rest of the way, as many as a 12-point margin in the second half. Now down to 3. With just over 30 seconds to go. Copeland grabbing Van Lith. And will send her to the free throw line.
And just what you thought probably would happen, Copeland was all over Van Lith trying to get a steal, try to slap that ball away, but Van Lith uses her body so well to shield Copeland away, and then the quick foul by Copeland.
Copeland's 4th. Van Lith at the line, buries the free throw. Van Lith now with 18. 6 assists, 4 boards on a well-rounded effort for Van Lith. Hits them both. Kansas calls timeout. They'll advance the ball again. 78-73 now. TCU.
Again, and then already probably talking about the play that they will run the next time down the court, because he doesn't have any timeouts left. Just making sure everybody's on the same page. The other side, TCU does not have any fouls to give now. They have to play straight up defense. They have been good getting through screens today. They are a great scout team. They know what Kansas likes to do. Kind of a chess match right now.
Actually, Kansas has the possession. Copeland's 3 is off the mark. And rebound to Connor. They got a look at a three from Sanaya Copeland, good three-point shooter a season ago at Wisconsin. Couldn't get that one to drop, and they'll walk to the other end of the floor. Connor this time will shoot free throws. And hits.
So you know the play has already been called in the huddle. Brandon Schneider calling out what he wants the Jayhawks to do. You expected Madison Connor wasn't going to miss any more free throws.
Nichols will try to preserve clock. Lets it roll up court. Need a quick one here. Vanessa. Corner Evans. Evans look at three, and that one's way strong. Rebounded by Robertson. Now to Connor, and Kansas will back off.
Well-executed play. They just couldn't finish it, Kansas, but a good effort for the Jayhawks against the 11th ranked team in the country.
Jayhawks hung around, but TCU is going to win it by 7. 11th ranked team in the country moves to 4-0. Maybe more importantly, Brenda, 2 road wins already early on for TCU.
Yeah, and it's not easy, as we know, to win on the road in any conference, especially in the Big 12. And all the travel issues with both teams. We saw a good game today. Congrats to TCU.
Jayhawks getting good scoring in the second half from Elle Evans.
She has used the screens well. She elevates. She used those long arms for a high release. Beautiful three-point shot. She has been available. They're playing a little bit of defense and pushing ahead in transition. The transfer doing good things for Kansas, transferring from North Dakota State. Just like her game and what she adds to the Kansas offense and defense.
12 of her 17 coming here in the second half. Wyatt Knessa at the free throw line. After the timeout, she drew the foul just before the break on Connor. Knessa hits a couple free throws. Wyatt Knessa's had a good ball game as well. She's got 12.
You know, and she's played well on both ends of the court. As Kansas is switching up, she's had to defend Connor on the perimeter as well as Haley Van Lith. And, you know, the whole Kansas team very connected defensively today.
Drive for Van Lith and draws contact on the interior and a couple free throws.
But if you're TCU, you continue to attack. You spread the floor. You find the driving lanes, screening, moving hard. And Van Lith is that aggressive player, has been throughout her career, that can just be a huge playmaker.
And get your 82% free throw shooter to the line. Doesn't hurt as well. She knocks down the first. Van Lith with 16. 6 assists, 4 boards.
You know, she scored over 2,000 points in her career coming in. And just, being that point guard and playmaker, she has just expanded her game from, having this opportunity to play for TCU.
Evans on the handoff from Williams. On the drive here against Hunter. Up and good.
Tough shot.
Elle Evans now with 19.
And she is slight of frame, thin, but she is strong, and she showed it there, powering up over her defender.
Van Lith picks up her dribble. Now gives in the corner to Bigby. Back to Prince. Now to Hunter. Hunter on the drive and kick. Gets in the corner. Bigby for 3 and hits. Beat the shot clock. 1.5 seconds to go in the shot clock. They get Bigby a look at 3.
And it was a great defensive possession for Kansas. They were stunting. They were switching. They were doing all the right things. But just shows the patience of TCU and their great passing.
Nichols the drive. Got underneath Prince that time. And gets the bucket back. TCU will walk the ball up the floor, though. Again, the Jayhawks defended the entire clock well the last trip down the floor. And still got beat by the 3. Connor to Prince down the middle of the lane and missed it.
A rare miss for Prince today, because she couldn't have been more open on that slip to the rim.
She wasn't sure what it was like to be that open. Van Lith jumps the passing lane. Knocks it away from Kansas. Copeland has to go in the backcourt to retrieve.
Kansas needs to hurry. Have a sense of urgency here on offense.
Nichols downhill, drives right at Bigby, who takes a shot to the forehead. The basket is good for Nichols. No whistle, but a bucket for Nichols, who now has 19.
Yeah, the whistle blown just to make sure Bigby okay. Down on the other end, TCU, Connor slipping the ball to Sedona Prince. Just got herself too far into the basket as she came down over the face of Bigby. Not intentional, but just as she was coming down from her shot. But Bigby will be attended to away from the court.
So Robertson will check in. TCU by 5, approaching the 1-minute mark. Kansas trying to D up here rather than send TCU the free throw line at the moment.
Yeah, big possession for both teams.
Connor the drive through the lane. Got it to Prince and one.
And again,
big drive for Connor.
Yeah, big drive and pass for Connor. She had delivered that beautiful pass to Prince last time. But watch as she just dumps it down to Prince. This time Prince takes her time, makes sure she's in good position. And Copeland commits the foul trying to stop her. And, you know, you think about Madison Connor last year for TCU, primarily a shooter, and a terrific shooter at that, but has really developed the playmaking aspect of her game this year and has so many talented players around her, and working with Prince yet another year. The chemistry between them really impressive.
Kansas gets the rebound, calls timeout to advance the ball, stop the clock. You mentioned Connor, even today, Brent, is a perfect example of that. Had 2 fouls in the first half, only took 2 shots and was scoreless at halftime. Yet here we see her, she's not hunting for points in the second half. Did knock down a couple of threes, but 3 assists, couple rebounds, just chipping in her part. Even though it's not necessarily her scoring day, she's doing other things to make sure she stays involved.
Showing how unselfish she is. She's coming off a game where against Cincinnati, she had 29 points. She averages almost 17 points a game, and she's not forcing it. She knows that she is being defended well today, and she's done a great job of delivering the ball to her teammates today, and, you know, making that extra pass and doing what the team needs to be successful.
Nichols is immediately fouled by Van Lith. Fouls to give, 3rd on Van Lith. So that just foul number 3 on TCU.
You know, and that's a sign of a smart, mature team. And, you know, both these coaches, Brandon Schneider, Mark Campbell, very much tacticians. TCU knows they have fouls to give here.
Shakes free of Hunter, does Nichols, who buries the 3.
How about that? What a shot for Nichols.
And the foul in the backcourt as Canessa fouls Connor. But how about Sabaya Nichols? Look like they're going to try to come out and maybe foul her again.
You know, and because Samaya Nichols is so good at driving to the basket, you saw the defender going to the basket. You're right. I thought they were going to try to foul again with the fouls to give, but you have to worry about Samaya Nichols and her ability to drive to the basket. That time she showed, yes, I can hit the 3 as well.
Nichols with 22, matching her mark against TCU last year. Now 5 straight 20-plus point games for Nichols this season. Connor missed the first, makes the second. And Kansas will call another timeout.
Rare miss for Madison Connor, as she's an 83% free throw shooter, 84% last year.
That was their goal as well, not to give up the 3-point shot. And Nichols able to shake free, get one a moment ago. She gets the ball here inside the arc. Hunter defending, spins through traffic. And Prince was there, Hunter was there. It will be Hunter on the foul on Nichols.
And the original play was a flare screen, a back screen for Elle Evans. So that's where Samaya Nichols looked first. It wasn't there. You saw her ball fake. Instead, then she goes to the basket. just to create something and get a chance to go to the free throw line.
It's the first. So clock stopped with 30.7. And makes the free throw to make it a 3-point ball game with 30.7 to go. Nichols now with 24. And it's getting interesting here under a minute.
And Kansas.
That's the last time they have led in this ball game. And TCU the rest of the way, as many as a 12-point margin in the second half. Now down to 3. With just over 30 seconds to go. Copeland grabbing Van Lith. And will send her to the free throw line.
And just what you thought probably would happen. Copeland was all over Van Lith, trying to get a steal, try to slap that ball away, but Van Lith uses her body so well to shield Copeland away. And then the quick foul by Copeland.
Copeland's fourth. Van Lith at the line, buries the free throw. Van Lith now with 18. 6 assists, 4 boards on a well-rounded effort for Van Lith. Hits them both. Kansas calls timeout. They'll advance the ball again. 78-73 now. TCU.
Again, and then already probably talking about the play that they will run the next time down the court, because he doesn't have any timeouts left. Just making sure everybody's on the same page. The other side, TCU does not have any fouls to give now. They have to play straight up defense. They have been good getting through screens today. They are a great scout team. They know what Kansas likes to do. Kind of a chess match right now.
Actually, Kansas has the possession. Copeland's 3 is off the mark. And rebound to Connor. They got a look at a 3 from Sanaya Copeland. Good 3-point shooter a season ago at Wisconsin. Couldn't get that one to drop, and they'll walk to the other end of the floor. Connor this time will shoot free throws. And hits.
So you know the play has already been called in the huddle. Brandon Schneider calling out what he wants the Jayhawks to do. And you expected Madison Connor wasn't going to miss any more free throws.
Nichols will try to preserve clock. Lets it roll up court. Need a quick one here. Vanessa. Corner Evans. Evans look at 3, and that one's way strong. Rebounded by Robertson. Now to Connor, and Kansas will back off.
Well-executed play. They just couldn't finish it, Kansas, but a good effort for the Jayhawks against the 11th ranked team in the country.
Jayhawks hung around, but TCU is going to win it by 7. The 11th ranked team in the country moves to 4-0. Maybe more importantly, Brenda, 2 road wins already early on for TCU.
Yeah, and it's not easy, as we know, to win on the road in any conference, especially in the Big 12. And all the travel issues with both teams. We saw a good game today. Congrats to TCU.